My name is Frederick Kinyaga, the Gender Technical Specialist from Global Communities. Today I'll be talking about conflict prevention and resolution in cooperatives. Conflict is a clash with someone or something. And a conflict can take different forms. It can be an opposition, disagreement, argument, fighting, name it. These are conflicts. Now, are conflicts bad? Not necessarily. This is because we always have disagreements which vary in the intensity and the frequency. So whether a conflict is bad or not depends on the frequency and the intensity. Because if conflicts are not resolved, they can lead to breakups of families, breakups of cooperatives, can lead to psychological trauma or even violence. What are the sources of conflict? There are many sources of conflict. They range from misunderstanding of the members of a cooperative, of the business aspect of a cooperative. What do I mean by that? Sometimes the members may not understand that they have come actually together in a cooperative to make profit, to make money. And therefore they can allow small things to come in between them, leading to a conflict. Another cause of conflict is basically vested interests. Vested interests can come from different areas, either because of nepotism, tribalism, or even class, where some people feel, well, we are better than others. And because of that, it can lead to conflict. The other source of conflict is mistrust of members. This is where the members mistrust the leadership of a cooperative. They think, well, they could be taking some of our money, they're not managing well, and this type of mistrust can lead to conflict, whether what they are thinking is true or not. And of course, another source is the feeling of ownership by some members, or the feeling that this cooperative belongs to us more than the other people. That feeling of ownership by some people, or entitlement by some members, or by even the leaders of the cooperatives, even directors, where they feel we own it more than the others. This one can lead to conflict. Because we need to remember that as members of cooperatives, we all are equal. One member, one vote. And therefore, these are some of the sources of conflict, but may not be the only ones. Let us now look at the different types of conflict. One, we have what we call the data conflict. Data conflict comes from lack of information. We all need data to make good decisions in cooperatives. And sometimes this data may be missing. And that therefore means that people may have that conflict because the information that they need is missing. Or the data may be there, but it is not properly interpreted. Data is only meaningful when it is interpreted. So misinterpretation of data can lead to conflict. We also have relationship conflict. We all have different emotions and temperaments. Sometimes because of poor communication. Remember we talked about communication earlier. If there's breakdown in communication or different temperaments, there can be conflict because of relationships, people having different types of relationships. Then we have structural conflicts. This entails or is to do with resources. We need resources in a cooperative. Sometimes we find that these resources are not enough. There could be buildings, there could be facilities, there could be money, or even time. And if it's structural, this is where some people, for example, might feel that their needs are more important than the needs of the others. And as a result, and they also think that for them to meet their needs, because of the limitation of resources, they might need to suppress the needs of the other members, and this can lead to conflict. We also have what we call value conflicts. When people come with different attitude, different beliefs, different values, there can be conflict. And these ones are usually very difficult to solve or to resolve. Reason, a value is something that you or I strongly believe in. And if therefore there's no agreement, we don't believe in the same thing, we will be pulling towards different directions. The other type of conflict is what we call the interest conflict. People come to cooperatives with different interests. They may not be having the same interests, although they're in the same cooperative. And as a result of this, each person is interested in pursuing their own interests. And if they don't have a common understanding of their interests, then this one can lead to conflict. Conflicts are not always discrete. They are not always clear-cut. A conflict can come because of a combination of these factors, or it can even be from one of these.